Hello, Facebook land. This is Martha Black, as most of you know, with Butterflies and Daisies. And I just wanted to check on you guys tonight and see how your Monday went. I know that coming back to work after the holidays is not always the easiest. So I would just like to see how y'all's Monday went. Uh, while I'm waiting for some of y'all to hop on, I just have felt so strongly in my spirit this evening, actually all afternoon, that God just wanted me to get on here and share with you what all happened today. So I went back to work, as most of y'all did, I'm sure, after the holidays. And I left work early to attend a funeral. A man in our church passed away of all days, on Thanksgiving Day. And so I went to his funeral, and it was very hard. He fought cancer, and that, I'm sure most of you can relate to that. Either knowing someone who has gone through cancer, or who, I don't want to say lost their battle, because if they knew Christ, they won eternal healing. We're the ones that are left here with that void. But he had battled cancer. But there was just something special about this man, because he gave his life completely to the Lord the same day that my son did, and was baptized the same day that my son was. And so I just feel like there was just a special thing about that. And I remember, and I wish I would have taken a picture, but I was just in the moment the day that they both got baptized, because this man from our church, he just turned 67 in October. And he stood there in the parking lot and shook my son's hand and congratulated him. And it was like you could see both ends of the spectrum, because here you have this younger person that's given their life to the Lord, and someone that's older and has lived their life and has been through so much. I think God spared him through like 8 heart attacks. And, he finally just completely surrendered to the Lord. But the service was hard for me, because there was that connection with my son, but also just seeing the family grieving. I truly believe that that's empathy, when you can literally feel what someone's going through. And we never, no two situations are exactly the same. So I cannot say that I completely understand what someone's going through. But like his children and his stepchildren, it was just like I've been in that position of losing a parent, sitting on those same pews. It was in December. The Christmas tree was up. And, I believe that God can turn those situations that we go through around to help somebody else. It's like that verse, I don't want to misquote it, but it's in 2 Corinthians 1:4, and I've shared it before, but the comfort that God gives us in situations that we go through, we're supposed to turn around and comfort others. And I believe that when you do feel that empathy, and you're like, hey, I may not totally understand your individual situation, but just having that empathy, and I don't know, it just, when you go through something, it helps to know that someone kind of knows what you're going through. And I believe that God can turn those situations where we're in pain or where we have hurt, so we can turn around and help others. And I've told y'all before that brings me the most healing, when I can turn around and help someone else. And I think we're all like that. I think we're wired and built that way. So I just want to challenge you that, my situation may be through the loss of a parent, But your situation may be different. Maybe you've gone through financial struggles and God has brought you through that, and you know someone who is currently struggling financially. Go and be a witness to them and just reassure them, hey, you're going to get through this. You're going to get through this. I'm living proof. God can bring you through that. I just feel like I need to challenge everyone tonight to really look deep down inside and think, what have you gone through that has been hard and has been tough? And people are like, man, I don't know how you made it, how you survived it. And it's in those situations that maybe you know someone who's going through something similar, and God can use you to encourage them and to help them get through whatever they're facing. So I don't know, I just felt led that I needed to get on here and share this with somebody. Somebody needed to hear this. Something else from today is this man from our church. His wife diligently prayed and prayed and prayed and prayed and prayed for him, and she never gave up. And it may have just been a few months before he passed that he completely gave his life to the Lord and was baptized. But God heard those prayers. So I want to challenge you too, if you are praying for someone or a situation, don't give up. No matter how bleak the situation is, no matter how much you just want to throw your hands up and be like, I've prayed, I don't feel like my prayers are being answered, I'm done. Don't give up, because this is proof. And I mean, there's so many incidences of probably people that just in your circle of friends and family, that there was people that didn't give up in prayer. And in God's perfect timing, and when God can soften those people's hearts, it's never too late for them to give their life to the Lord. There's never a time for you to completely lose hope in the situation, but just hold on to faith and hold on to hope. It won't take you long to look around you and see how faithful God is. We tend to focus, and I'm guilty too, tend to focus on how hard the situation is or how bad we think the situation is. But I promise you, there is goodness in this world and in around us. I mean, we can turn on the news and just become depressed like automatically. I don't even like watching the news because I've become a mama, I guess, because she never liked watching the news. But just driving home tonight, there was this sunset, a beautiful sunset. God didn't have to create this world to be beautiful so we could enjoy it. He didn't have to do that. When you see someone holding the door for somebody else, there's goodness around. You don't have to look far. So I feel like I'm just rambling, but I felt very strongly in my spirit that I needed to get on here tonight and just tell you, it's never too late to give your life to the Lord. Don't give up on praying for someone that you love and care about. Don't give up. I've seen proof of how God can work. And just be encouraged. There's goodness in the world. And I would challenge you to share with me, either live right now or later, just something good that you saw today that gave you hope for the world. I've got a little reminder behind me right now. There's hope for the world and sweet baby Jesus, isn't there? After Mama passed away, I had people tell me, you need to continue to celebrate Christmas because of your son. And I got to thinking later, I don't need to celebrate Christmas because of my son. I need to celebrate Christmas because of the son right there. It's because of his birth here, and then at Easter time when we celebrate his death, burial, and resurrection, that I can have hope that I'm going to see my mom again. I can have hope that I can see this gentleman from our church that passed away again. And I could go through the list, my grandma, my grandpa, all these people that I love. So if you're going through a hard time right now, think about that. Think about that. God sent his only son into this world, and we know how messed up this world can be, to save you and to save me, and so we could be with him someday eternally in heaven, and be with our loved ones. He didn't have to do that. Just step back for a second and think, what if God hadn't have sent Jesus at Christmas? What if he hadn't have given up his life and then was resurrected? I don't know how we would get through this world not having that hope of heaven and salvation and joy and hope and peace and the eternal healing in heaven. I don't, it's like so hard for my mind to even imagine that. So there is goodness in this world because he came to the world to die for you, to live, to die for our sins, and to be resurrected to give us hope for eternal life. So I just hope that this video brought some sort of encouragement to somebody. Because like I said, I just felt so strongly in my spirit. And I told my husband, I was like, I had not planned on doing this. I've cried off most of my makeup today because it was very emotional at the funeral. And just thinking of what all the family was going through. But, it's not good to wrestle with God. If he tells you to do something, you do something, whether it makes sense or whether it doesn't. So if this helps one person, then it's worth me getting on here with my all makeup cried off. But I love you guys. I appreciate you being here on my page. I'm just trying to do what God tells me to do. And if something I share touches you or blesses you, let me know. Because sometimes I wonder, is this, like, who is this for? And I may not always know, but sometimes I feel so strongly like I need to post this or I need to share that because someone needs to hear it or to see it or to read it. And I may never know who, but we just have to be faithful in the little things. And I'm not perfect. I'm a work in progress. I'm so thankful that God doesn't give up on me. I try to become a better person every day. I work on myself, and it's hard. But God can do big things with little old me and little old you, just being willing. So just be a blessing to someone this week, and I would love to hear if you saw some good in this world today or this week. I promise you don't have to look far. Don't give up on praying for someone that you love, and remember that we are to comfort people with the same comfort that we've been given. So whatever hard situation that you've ever been through in your life, you can turn around and comfort someone else. And it helps heal your heart. It does. So I'm going to quit rambling. I love you guys. Hey, Miss Debbie. Oh, thank you. Thank you for being here and for listening to me ramble. But just have a blessed week and just thank you for being here. I love you guys.